Okay, so let's talk about losing gracefully. Forgive my voice. I have recently lost it from a wonderful trip to Disney and Universal, and I am still recovering it. So my voice will probably be a little bit scratchy today. So this whole video is going to be about losing gracefully. So there's been a lot of chatter this past week around the Crown Championship at New York City Comic Con. I don't want to name any names, so I'm not going to say who the person that started the drama was, and originally I was referring to this person by their cosplay, but it would take 2 seconds to figure out who that person was, so I'm not even going to describe the cosplay. And given that he has since deleted all of his comments and updated the description on his post of his cosplay from New York City Comic Con to be more respectful and congratulate the winners, I'm not going to call him out. No, if you want to find out who he is, you could do so, but I don't want to send anyone his way or do anything like that. So no names will be given. The names of the winners will be given, but not the drama person. However, this situation has brought to light the importance of losing gracefully, which is a very important skill to pick up, as well as brought to light some information or some etiquette, I guess, around armchair judging. So we're going to get all into that in just a moment. If you enjoy this video, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I post cosplay progress and fun little shorts and in-depth dives onto some of my builds, some tutorials here and there. So if that sounds great, make sure to subscribe. And with all of that said, I guess let's hop on into it. Oh, and if you happen to be at New York City Comic Con and you saw this championship and you can confirm some of the hearsay information I have, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you've had any experiences with negativity as a contestant or even a judge, be sure to drop it down below. I would love to talk about it. All right, with all of that said, let's get into it. So what happened? First, let's start with a bit of background. Recently, New York City Comic Con held one of the largest craftsmanship competitions on the East Coast, the Cosplay Central Crown Championships. For those who don't know, Crown Championships are contest circuits that span nationally and sometimes globally. If it spans globally, as I believe this one does, so you start off in what you can consider a semifinal. So New York City Comic Con would be your semifinal. If you place best in show or first place at New York City Comic Con, then you get an automatic entry into the finals or the nationals. It's at C2E2, and the contest takes place next year. If you win at C2E2, I believe you then go globally for your chance at competing or participating in Worlds or something like that. I'm not 100% familiar with Crown Championships. It is something I want to do at some point in time in the future, but this is about the extent of my knowledge. So for this particular instance, you would win entry to compete at C2E2 in 2024. So on top of this automatic entry into the US National Championship, there was a cash prize of $1,000. Tickets, I believe, for next year's New York City Comic Con, and then you also got flights and accommodation to C2E2 for your competition next year. So a pretty big prize for winning first place. And of course, it was like much less for second place. I think it's $500 and like $250 for third place. I don't know that they did judges' choice. I've heard that they didn't, but I haven't actually seen the competition, so I don't actually know for certain. But those are the 3 placements that they have. So I'm sure you can understand with a prize package like that and the chance for national recognition, it is an extremely competitive circuit. All Crown Championships are extremely competitive. They have some of the most amazingly talented individuals enter into these championships. I mean, you're talking stunning detail and absolutely perfect technique. If you want to place in one of these competitions, you have to be good, like really, really good, and pull off a damn near perfect build. And if you want to win first place, you'll need to show a variety of skills typically. So if your main skill is sewing, like mine, you increase your chances of winning if you include 3D modeling and 3D printing, maybe some foam work, some armor building, that sort of thing. So if you can show a wide variety of skills and mastery of all skills, you have a higher chance of winning first place. So when competing, you want to throw in as many tricks and embellishments that you can to just put your build that much closer to placing. Now, if you put things in that you cannot execute well, or you think they were executed well, but someone next to you did it better, obviously that's going to damage your chances, and it's best to leave those things off. Only put on what you know you can execute. So a craftsmanship competition is all about craftsmanship. I know that seems obvious, but if this weekend has told us anything, it's that people don't understand that craftsmanship does not equal popularity. The most popular costume will not always win a craftsmanship contest. It's always going to be those details that win you that crown championship. That's a bit about crown championships. New York City Comic Con had theirs this past weekend, and here are the winners. We have in first place Sarcasm Hime as Queen from Snow Glass Apples. Second, V as the Mighty Thor. And third, Say No to Scrunchy as the creature from the Black Lagoon. Personally, I've been following Sarcasm Hime for quite a while now and watch its build come to life. Nearly every inch of it is hand beaded and hand embroidered, right down, or I guess up to, the crown. The accuracy is perfect when you compare this to the reference material, and from what I can tell in the background videos, her execution is flawless. And that is where the drama started. I'm going to do my best to recap this off of reports from people who were actually at the convention, and a general understanding of the backlash that happened within the comment section of the New York Comic Con official winners post. I wasn't there, so I can't give a first-hand account, so all of this is kind of compiled based on hearsay, so take that for what you will. But I think it's extremely important that we talk about the situation, why it happened, and how we can prevent this from happening in the future. So, the events. There was a fellow competitor who had created an amazing looking build. I won't go into the details of what this build was because I don't want to point out who this person is, but we'll say that it had a lot of hand carved foam work details. It had some mechanical pieces that move bits around. It had lights, and it was a full body massive build out of EVA foam. I mean, it's impressive. Anyone who looks at this would see the amount of work that went into it and know how much time and effort this must have taken this person. This particular person did not place at all. And according to accounts, the crowd was not happy that this person didn't win. And while the other competitors were collecting their awards, the crowd was shouting for this other cosplayer. Again, I cannot confirm that this actually happened, but based on what's being said, this is what I could gather, which, if it is true, is absolutely disgusting. That is rude AF and should never happen. Celebrate the winners. No, I have no words. Anyway, this cosplayer then supposedly was bashing the competition backstage, and then also took it online and made some posts on Instagram calling the competition political and saying it was rigged and that he should have won. I believe he also went into the comments of the New York Comic Con official winners announcement. I personally read some comments that were copy and pasted over and over and over again saying that it was political and rigged, and but I don't know if it's this person or not. I don't know their real name, which is fine, but I can't confirm this person or maybe just the supporter. But either way, he showed incredibly poor sportsmanship. Like, no, it's awful. So he I think thought that he would get a better reception to this online. So he even started a hashtag that was justice for this cosplay build. And thinking, I guess he could get traction. I don't know what he wanted, maybe to try and overturn the awards. I don't know. Do not have any idea what he could have possibly been thinking that would help him in this situation and not hurt him in this situation, you know? Well, he got an incredible amount of backlash, and now these comments have been deleted off of the Comic-Con post. All the comments on his posts have been deleted, and he has amended the description on his posts to say congratulations to the winners. I hope that's a lesson learned. I don't know that it is, but it did not go his way. However, it bubbled up in a lot of drama with other people commenting that he should have won underneath these winners' pictures, and it just got really, really ugly. But I am happy to say that the majority of people did not support this behavior. And the consequences of behaving badly like this can be severe. The competition circuit is relatively small for what it is. That first place winner could be your judge at your next competition, or the organizers of the contest could be organizing another contest and not accept your application for entry because they know what happened. Like, this will hinder a person's cosplay progress if competing is what they want to do. Don't have poor sportsmanship. It's just a bad look. But anyway, why am I talking about it several days later? Because we need to do better as both spectators and competitors. As you know, I am a competitive cosplayer, and I am also a cosplay judge. So I have the privilege of being on both sides of judging, which most spectators don't have either side for reference. And I thought that I could share my perspective as both a competitor and a judge, and also give my thoughts on my thoughts on spectator etiquette. For those who have never competed, let me give you a breakdown of how it works. So, as a competitor, contest day is an absolute whirlwind. You put months, sometimes years, of blood, literal blood, sweat, and tears into this build. For you, it's a masterpiece. And now it's your time to shine. So you go to prejudging with your build book in hand, filled with all the details of everything that you did to make this cosplay a reality. And you have a pre-planned speech in your head, because you only have 3 minutes, sometimes 5 if you're lucky, to convince the judges why your cosplay deserves an award. All while you're talking, those judges are up close and personal, with permission of course. They are flipping the hems of your skirt. Did you finish the hem? What kind of hem did you use? Is your stitching straight? Did you make your foundational garments? How's your fabric? Is it puckering because you used the wrong type of stitching for this fabric? Did you use Warbla? Did you finish the Warbla so the texture no longer shows? Does it look like real metal or whatever material you were trying to make it look like? Did you use EVA foam? Does it still look like EVA foam? Did you fill in your seams? Did you sand it? Did you heat form it? How's your wig looking? Is it styled? Did you do that? How's your makeup? Even your nails. Everything is judged in prejudging to form a solid picture of what you did to create this character. After your 3 minutes or so, there's scoring that takes place, and that's it. Oftentimes, the decision for the winner is made at prejudging. That's it. You have presented your piece, and there's nothing more you can do. Their decision is made before you've even taken a step on stage. Later in the day, you make it onto the stage, nervous that something is going to go wrong. And sometimes it does. I had my biggest fail ever just recently at Dragon Con with my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde transformation. The pull string release The transformation is held together by a single knot tied in the front, and in my nervousness I pulled the wrong string, and rather than the knot slipping undone and the dress falling into place like it's supposed to, I just tied a knot tighter. And so the transformation half worked, and I knew as soon as I got off stage that that was it. That was a catastrophic failure. If I had been in the running for a place, that ruined it. And I didn't blame the competition. I didn't blame my competitors. I didn't even blame my husband, who's the one that tied the knot. I knew it was my fault. I accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. And add on to it my crippling social anxiety that will plague me for years, that I had to continue my performance with my half transformed dress. I will be for the full 60 seconds. I will be reliving that moment for many years to come. But the other competitors were very supportive. They actually all told me little things that went wrong with them on stage to try and make me feel better. It was all very sweet, actually. And I sat in my grief for a little bit of time, and then I cheered heavily for every single other competitor that went on that stage, and I cheered loudly for every winner, because for me, a win is not just the award of the trophy, but the friends you get to make backstage and the knowledge you get to gather from the techniques of what everyone else did. It is amazing backstage. And that's why I always make it a point to get to know the people around me and ask them their tips and tricks for their cosplay build, so that when I compete the next time, I will be even better. So that's a win in my book. So I still walk away a winner, even if I don't get an award. Though luckily, I guess I did get judges award because my transformation worked in prejudging. So there's that, I guess. So maybe I would have placed, I don't know. But yeah, I lost with a catastrophic failure, and I like to think that I took it gracefully, even though I had to sit for a bit in my grief and overcome the embarrassment of a critical failure. And it took me a really long time to be able to share it or even rewatch that video, so you're welcome. So anyway, even though I didn't win, I met wonderful people. I learned so many tips to help me develop my skills, and I am excited to try again. And I will someday build another transformation dress. Maybe I'll take Jekyll and Hyde on stage somewhere else and hope I'll be a bit more comfortable. I don't pull the wrong string. And it took a while to get there. It is okay to be disappointed. It is okay to feel that grief from losing. That's perfectly natural. The point is to feel it and then move on from it. And don't be a bad sport about it. There are reasons a cosplay won and yours didn't. There are. You may not have been able to see it because you weren't prejudging, but there's always someone better than you. There's always someone that's going to have more skills than you. And statistically speaking, your chances of winning aren't necessarily high. There's one first place and how many people competing? 50, 60, that's a lot of competitors to beat. It's okay to be sad about it, to even feel like it wasn't fair, but you didn't see what the judges saw. Even backstage, looking closely at everyone else's build, you did not see. You didn't get under the hem and see exactly everything that happened. The judges chose the winner for a reason, and you just need to keep working to try and be the next winner. And if there is a feedback session the next day or whenever after a competition, go to that. Find out exactly what on your cosplay stopped you from placing, straight from the judges. It is so valuable, and then you can use that to make your costume better. It is so valuable to take feedback and to take the L and to just move forward gracefully. Like I said earlier, it gets around, and I've heard rumors this particular person is banned from a lot of competitions now. So it's not worth it to be a sore loser. I don't get it. Just don't. Be a nice human. do what the mug says. So that's the competitive side. But what's it like to be a judge? Even harder. So we see the contestant. We see contestant after contestant after contestant in those little time blocks, back to back to back, often without any time in between to really think about what we just saw. So we're scoring immediately after we see them, and then we have to move on to the next costume. And that is the last that we see of these cosplays until they're on stage. Sometimes we'll have extra time to flip through build books, but not always. So those minutes, those are important, very, very important for making decisions. And then oftentimes stage presence is a very, very small score. We're talking like 5 points out of 50 or 5 points out of 100. It often is not enough to win or lose a competition with stage presence, but sometimes if a costume is neck and neck, those extra 5 points push one just over the edge of the other and gives them the win. But every competition has criteria that we have to follow. It's listed on the score sheet and allocated percentage points based on whatever it is. A lot of times there's like accuracy, craftsmanship, creativity, things like that we score people on a scale. It's not always a scale, it's not always points, but in general that's how it's done. And then those numbers get tallied up at the end, and that's how you get your winner. Yes, a lot of it is subjective, but this is the best way that we have for contest organizers to try to make it as fair as possible. Often, each judge has an expertise in one particular field. So for me, it's sewing. I'm a seamstress. So when I judge, my expertise is in sewing. And then oftentimes the next judge will be like foam smith. And then the other judge will be like mixed media or something like that. Or I don't know, a wig maker, something like that. And so we can pool our expertise together to make sure that we are judging each piece of a cosplay accurately and to the best of our ability. And then all of our scores are what get tallied together to select that winner. As a judge, though, we see everything. We see your snagged chiffon. We see your unfinished edges. We see the snags in your wig, because that's our job. Our job is to find the flaws and compare them to the other things that we see. We are there to pick apart everything that you've done so that the best crafted piece wins. The judges are up close and personal for a reason. The spectator is not. With that, let's talk about a phrase that I recently heard of, and I think it's absolutely perfect. It's called armchair judging. This is what most spectators do, and there really is nothing wrong with it. You just can't help it. You see a cosplay on stage and you think to yourself, oh my God, that's amazing. I can't believe they made that. That looks so realistic. Wow, look at all of that skill. And then you make your own opinion on who you think should win. And sometimes your opinion and who wins lines up, and sometimes your opinion and who doesn't win doesn't line up. And that's okay. We all have our opinions. And it's okay to talk about it with your friends and think, wow, that so-and-so should have won. I can't believe that that other person won. That's fine. What is not okay is shouting or starting a chant of another cosplayer while the winner is collecting their award. That's not okay. That is just rude. That's gross. Cheer on the winner. They worked hard to win. You are not in prejudging. You did not see the flaws or the perfection or whatever. You didn't see any of that. You're very, very far away. So there's no way for you to know why exactly one cosplay edged out another. And we need to be happy for the winners that were selected and encourage the winners who were not selected to try again. There's no room for negativity in cosplay. I know competitions can breed a lot of it, but I'm here to say, let's breed positivity. Let's push out the negativity. The negaverse does not need to be stealing our energy. Let's push it out and let's be the positive influence we want to see in the world. And this is one place where we can start. Oftentimes, the coolest or neatest cosplay doesn't win because it's not as well finished as the winning cosplay. I will say that when I won my award earlier this year, each judge took a moment to explain why I won to the audience. And I actually thought that was really neat. I've not experienced that anywhere else. So maybe the competition circuits could do a little bit to explain why somebody won, but realistically, they don't owe it to the audience. The judges are experts in their fields, and they selected a winner for a reason. And if you really think someone shouldn't have won and someone else should have, find them online and really look at the details. It might change your mind. But if it doesn't, don't find them online and make negative comments about their win. They deserve support for their hard work. And so do the people who don't win. We just need to be kind. I cannot express that enough. It is heartbreaking to lose. And it is heartbreaking to win and have people try to invalidate your win. So let's just not do it. And that rant is a really big part of why I wanted to make this video. My heart breaks for the people who were hurt in the situation, and it was all preventable. It really was. It was all preventable. There was no reason for it. So I wanted to share my perspective on the situation and give some advice to those who might be participating and those who might be just a spectator. Being in the audience is amazing. You have so much influence on the energy that happens on stage. When you cheer those cosplayers on, they can feel it and it energizes them and they give a great performance. We need to cheer everyone on, not just the costumes that look the coolest, but everyone who gets on that stage worked hard on what they did, and they are extremely brave for going on that stage. It takes a lot for people to get on that stage, and they deserve to be acknowledged for that and receive the audience's support. And it's tacky to boo or chant other cosplayers' names while other people are getting awards. It's just gross. And cosplayers, lose gracefully. All your fellow competitors also poured their heart and soul into their build, and they are also deserving of a win. Just because you didn't win this time does not mean you won't win next time. This one just wasn't for you, but maybe the next one is. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the situation. I know this is different than my normal content, but hearing about the discourse really unsettled me, and obviously I had a lot of thoughts about it that I wanted to share. I've seen the stage video of the cosplayer that complained, but I've decided I'm going to withhold my comments about the build. I just don't think it's necessary to get my point across. But I do wish to extend my congratulations to the 3 winners. They are amazing at what they do, and I can't wait to see Sarcasm Hime compete at C2E2 next year. Maybe I'll go and get to see it live. That would be absolutely awesome. But it was definitely a well-deserved victory for all 3. And I hope this other cosplayer has learned a lesson and is able to move forward in life and in their cosplay career, and that this doesn't hold them back forever. Let's just support each other. That's it. It takes nothing to be nice to each other. And if we lose, you take the L, use it as a learning opportunity, and just do better next time. You can rework cosplays that have competed previously, you know. It's really hard to rebuild a reputation. What do you think? Have you heard all about this drama that was happening? Were you there? Do you have anything you'd like to add to the conversation? Please feel free to drop it in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear what everyone has to say. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!